Hello, everybody. This is Meister Keen, and today I have another constitution to look at. I'm not going to tear this one down point by point like I did the last one. Uh, I was pretty harsh on the last one, but I'm just going to point a couple of things out. Just a couple of basic things that I think we just gotta point out. Because look at these groups, they're trying to create these big super groups with this government, and they're trying to be complicated about it. And God, you know what? It's government. Government. What is a government? Really? A government is a ruling body that has a monopoly on violence within a society. People, generally, don't like violence. Violence gets in the way of the normal business of living life. That is why governments exist. It's to prevent violence, to create a sort of a space in which business can take place without so much violence going on and without so much crime going on. It takes a lot of the random factor out of living life. However, life is also boring. Kind of is, isn't it? There's not a lot that goes on. You need excitement in your life, and one of the places you go to get excitement in your life is games. So why don't we put a government into a game to make the game less exciting? That's that's a good idea. Let's do that. Right? All right. You with me? So let's look at this. We have here a constitution. I read this constitution, and it's actually not bad. If if you want to role play being a government, if you want to role play government, this isn't a bad option. This is actually pretty good. This is a really good government role play. And you could have all of the wonderful excitement of being a senator or something in the Senate, in the House of Commons of the bicameral Senate of this government. Honestly, I've done this. I've actually done this. I've actually role played being a like a representative, or actually, I role played being the mayor of a city in an actual educational exercise. I went to this sort of a summer camp for people who were basically being trained to be like legislators and and campaign workers and things like that. You understand? I've had actual formal training in the subject of governance. So I know a thing or two about how governments work. I know Robert's Rules of Order. I understand parliamentary procedure. I understand some of the legal matters of how the U.S. system of governments work. There are intricacies to it, and it's very interesting. It's a wonderful subject. I would absolutely recommend you looking into the subject of legislative law, like federal level law and procedure. It is a fascinating subject. And if you want to role play this, this is a great thing to do. I honestly get into this Republic thing. See, I've gotten into this Discord server, the Republic. Somebody invited me to this because they wanted to show me this, and they wanted to prove to me that this was better than this other Senate thing. I've actually got two Senates. Oh, they call it the Galactic Faction Forum now. So it's not a Senate. It's now a forum. Okay, it's a forum, so it's got to be different now. Oh well. Okay. Anyway, I tear these things apart. I know I'm terrible, but there is something that you need to know about this, and that is that this entire concept is not appropriate in the context of a game. You don't go into a game to roleplay governing. If you want to roleplay governing because you're bored and because there's nothing else to do, because we don't have a game to play yet, fine. Actually, not fine. I've got a better option for you. Down here, we've got this other group called the Starbase Faction Finder. And by the way, I'm going to feature these guys. I'm going to be creating another video. I can't just complain into my microphone all the time. I can't do that for video after video. I'm sorry, maybe you like that, but that isn't good content. I don't think it does a good job of representing what the actual Starbase community is. Because there are actually some pretty wonderful things going on in the Starbase community. There are some wonderful people doing wonderful stuff in Starbase. And so, despite the fact that the game is not playable, people are doing some meta stuff that is kind of interesting. One of those interesting things is the Starbase Faction Finder. And what these guys do is they host Minecraft servers, or they did host a Minecraft server, and now they're hosting a Rust server because Minecraft kind of died out on them. So now they're doing Rust. Great. This is a good idea. Get a bunch of Starbase enthusiasts together and then figure out something that you can do that they are all interested in doing, or that a significant number of them are interested in doing. Yes, I too am excited. Oh, no, they're angry about the ping. Whatever. Okay. This is good. Go, reinstall Rust and play Rust with these Faction Finder guys. Do that. That's a way, way better idea. So now we get to the part of the video where I actually poke holes into this Republic thing. I'm going to tell you why this Republic thing's a bad idea and why it shouldn't be done. I'm sorry. These are actually some decent people. I like these guys. I think they're okay. I really do. Guys, I'm sorry. But it's such a bad idea. Let me talk about why. So, actually, let's see. First, I've got these, there we go, these PMs from this guy called The Ship. I want a diplomat role. Sure, diplomat for the guy who tears up people's game governments. But he showed me this Senate document. He actually invited me to see it because he wanted to prove to me that it was better. Okay, well, at least it's a fully fleshed out system. It's not bad. You probably actually could run a government based on that. But he says this, it looks complex, but it's complex because it has a lot of checks and balances. Since we want to be democratic, we need those. And so I tell him, no, you really do not, unless you expect tens of thousands of players to be governed under this thing. And he says, let me ask you something. If the group staff have a complete hands-off approach, as we have taken and will take, and will let others come in and do as they want, how does the system keep itself from collapsing? As well, the pages are longer because of the formatting. Okay, whatever. No, no, it's not 7 pages because of the formatting. It's 7 pages because it's a dense document full of 89 rules, 89 articles. Each one a paragraph outlining what this government is and how it works. You know, it's 7 pages because it's long. There's a lot here. Because you made an entire constitution. Because you want a government. He also says that you've got a hands-off approach. No, you don't have a hands-off approach. Look at this thing. You've got this electorate. You've got 5 people who make up an electorate. We'll get to this. Here you go. The system cannot keep itself from collapsing. The system will be ignored and bypassed by bad actors. No system can maintain control, nor can it win the loyalty of its membership. You're relying on a system when you should be relying on your own 2 hands and your voice. You're trying to make a system do what leaders should be doing. And he says that is where we come at a bypass. Not a bypass, what's the word he wants? An impasse. And I say, yep, we're at an impasse. We believe we can allow a functioning democracy thrive. Well, you believe it can't. And I say, nope, not in the slightest. Not if you're allowing anyone with no real barrier to entry, and not if you're failing to impose standards upon the people who participate in the system. He says, oh no, we do have standards. They're imposed in the document. What are the standards? Let's see if we can find them. What are we actually talking about? Maybe this, right? All persons may apply for citizenship with the backing of 2 other citizens. The state shall delegate this power to any ministry or position of their choosing. However, only a court of law may revoke citizenship. So you have to call a whole court of law into effect to revoke anybody's citizenship. So if you get 2 people to sponsor you, you can be a citizen. So if you get 2 people sponsored to be citizens, then you've got all the people you need to get any other people into this thing. That's not a high barrier to entry. That says nothing of whether these people are good people, whether these people actually believe in your democracy, whether these people actually want anything to do with this, or are there literally to tear the whole thing apart. Do you want to get people in there to tear things apart? You could do it. Hello, goons. Goons. The goons would get into this thing. I tell you exactly what they would do. They would set themselves up. They would make themselves appear to be 4 or 5 different factions, and they would get themselves in there, and they would somehow manage to maneuver to get basically their entire membership into like senatorial positions and things like that. They would take over the parliament, and then they would rabble rouse as much as possible to get people on their side. And anybody who disagreed with them or was a threat, they would shout them down, and they would find reasons to and they would create what appears to be a very loud consensus, and then just they would eat the thing from inside. And it's very easy to do that, because what the Republic is it is a government system without any purpose. It's got no soul to it. It's got no goals other than to be a government. Literally, that's it. I asked, and that was the answer that I got. I'll show you that too. All right. Again, these are not bad people. They kind of designed a cool thing. It's cool. It looks cool. But, God, it's so bad. It's so wrong for this, for any game space. It's just not going to work. It's just role play, man. It's LARPing. So, all right. So you say, if you keep tight control over who can participate, and if you maintain tight ethical standards, and if you insist on always following exact parliamentary procedure at all points, then yes, this could work. If the players involved give a damn and are willing to make it work. That's a goddamn lot of ifs. You're relying on your player base to want democracy. Oh, but here's the meat of it. We have an electoral commission, which is only 5 people. But that is what keeps this all fair. So basically, the electoral commission have all of the power where it comes to actual elections. So the people they want in power, they can basically coronate who they want to have in power. Yes, the document makes it seem otherwise, but no, what's really happening is if you control the 5 electoral, the electors, if you control the electors, then you've got all the power, and you can put anybody you want into power. So is that your hands-off approach? It's not a hands-off approach. It's not a hands-off approach. That's very hands-on. They got their hands all over it. You're relying on your player base to want a democracy. But anyway, if you could do all that, then hey, more power to you. Good luck, man. That was my last word on this thing. Oof. Oof. Let me show you what they're saying oof to. So I went in here and I decided, well, all right, I'm just going to ask the question, the central question, the only question that matters. All right, damn it, answer me this. And this is after I actually read their document. I did. I was polite enough to read their 7-page document. All right, damn it, answer me this. Is the Republic going to actually do anything in Starbase? What do you aim to create? What effect do you want to have on the Starbase community? For reals now, please tell me. Well, says Shalix Links, we want to allow everyone to do anything they want by facilitating that, by protecting others and letting them have a method of implementing change. That's us. So the purpose of the Republic is to let anyone do anything, protect a region of space and declare peace in it. I think I talked about in the last video. If you watched the last video, it was 45 minutes long. This one's going to be like 20 minutes long. I apologize for taking so much of your time. But what I said is, if you take a section, a region of space, an area, a place in a game, and you say, no conflict allowed, then what's going to happen is people who want conflict are going to go there, because that is the perfect way to invite anyone to come and just have a tussle. Because people are going to be guarding it, and people are going to get upset. So if you're a griefer type and you really like to make other people suffer, that's a really great way to find some fragile people and make them suffer. That's just the best way to do it. You want a war? Declare peace. If you want a war, declare peace. It's the way to do it. So these guys are already idiots. I'm sorry. You are good people, but you're idiots. We're here to allow people to participate together, cooperatively. To what end? That's fluff. Why would, for example, the Harbormen benefit from participating in that? And I say, look, I didn't ask to be Socrates, but here we fucking are. Motherfucker, you're turning me into Socrates just for asking some questions. All right. Why would we want to be different? Why would we want to be different than what we want to do? If somebody can tell me what that sentence means, I would appreciate that. We wish to have a fair system, a military, a system for citizens to do as they wish, and much more. We are a blank slate just governed by a core system. So you've got a system of government, but you don't have any philosophy, any core goal or purpose beyond the government itself. You have a government for the sake of government. You're just role-playing being a government. No. I mean, yeah, fine. If that's what you're doing, if you're aware that that's what you're doing, and that's what you're doing, great. That actually sounds like it could be fun. If you want to role-play being a government, join the Republic, because they're actually doing a pretty good job of that. Oh, but these guys are not going to do anything in-game. It's going to come time for early access, so these guys are going to get in there and they're going to start gaming, and they're not going to do anything. They're not going to accomplish a damn thing. I can tell you that right off. So I say, a system without clear direction. A well-designed system. Factually, a constitution is a work of art, but it's like a thing made of spun sugar. It is beautiful and pointless. What's the will of the people who we believe in, and the direction they wish to have? But a directionless system with no real stakes? Nothing to really pledge yourself to? Well, you're forgetting the aspirations of the people here. Right, you provide no direction or purpose. What aspirations? I opened by asking you what your aspirations are. You don't have any aspirations. Oh, Meister, please, if you come in to argue, then come to me in DMs. I'm supposed to handle demo... Okay, fine. So, in other words, now they think I'm being harsh and rude. I guess which I am. Guys, Republic people, you are role-playing being a government, which is fine. Having done it, I can say it can be fun. However, for most of the people involved, except for the very ambitious and loudmouthed ones, this kind of roleplay is about as fun as watching paint drip. That's about how fun it is. Maybe a little funner than watching paint dry. But watching paint drip, it's about that fun. All right? That's how fun it is. Right? So if you're at the top and you're making decisions and there's drama going on and you know, things like that, then yeah, okay, that's fun. That actually is fun. You know, when you get some factions involved and when you can at least pretend there are some stakes. But there aren't stakes. There's nothing at stake. There's no skin in this game. Because with regard to the game Starbase, the actual game, the game which we will be playing, there are no stakes. You have no plans. You have no actual goal. You have the goal of being a government, but that government doesn't exist to accomplish anything. In a game, a sandbox game, it is impossible for a group to maintain a monopoly on force. You can't have that. Players won't tolerate being governed. They won't tolerate it. They can be led. Players absolutely can be led if you give them something interesting to do, and if you point a direction and you say, here's where we're going and here's what we're going to do. We're going to go and accomplish a thing. You see that hill? We're going to take that hill. You see that place over there, that mountain? We're going to build something on top of that mountain. We're going to build a big, bright beacon, and then some people are going to come and try to fight us to take that beacon away from us, and we're going to fight them because that sounds like fun to me. You guys want to go do that? Yeah, let's go do it. Because that's what a game is. Game is conflict, man, and it's doing stuff, and it's bleeding some blood and crying some tears. It's spending 20 hours building a thing and then watching a group of griefers spend 20 minutes tearing it down, and then it's getting back on your feet and it's going back out and doing it again because you have some self-respect and you've got an idea that doing shit in a game space can be fun. Because that's what a sandbox game is. We're here in the proud tradition of Minecraft and Rust and all those other sandbox games that came before us. Those games were brutal and they were free and you could do anything in them, and that included tear shit down and that included build stuff up. The first thing anybody did in Minecraft was build an 8-bit looking Mario, a Mario statue. They had 4 blocks to work with, and they said, I can make an 8-bit Mario. And then they did it and took a screenshot. And that screenshot has gone down as one of the most iconic things in the world of sandbox gaming ever since. Why the hell aren't you talking about doing something like that? Come on, what are you doing? What are you making? You're making a government? God, that's the most irrelevant thing you could possibly do in the context of a sandbox game. So don't pretend to me that you're going to do anything in Starbase. You're not. You're a bunch of role players. And you're not the only ones. I'm just picking on you because you presented yourselves to be picked on. You're not the only ones. There are others here. You got these guys. You got this Senate, which is now, I think, dead. You got these guys, the Galactic Security Council. I got to look into them. I got to wonder what they're actually up to. Maybe they're actually going to accomplish something. Who knows? They might have some sensible goals in mind. All right? But don't play politics and then pretend you're actually going to accomplish something. It's false advertising, man. You're drawing people in with the promise of having a game, and then you're giving them something that isn't a game. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't draw people in to something that you're pretending is going to be effective and wonderful and relevant in the game, and then lead them on this merry-go-round of parliamentary procedure with no point to it. It's not honest, and it's not good for those players. You know what you should be doing? You should be taking all of these people who are pretending to be senators, and you should be going down here, and you should be reinstalling Rust because you haven't played it in 2 years. Because, I don't know, the players were too mean. That's what I did. The players were too mean, so I quit Rust. But you should reinstall Rust, and you should join these guys and play Rust with them. That's what you should do. And if you don't like Rust, make a Space Engineers server. Yeah, fucking do something. Do something! All right? That's what I made this group for, the Starbase Creative Union. All right? That's what we do here. We criticize other people who don't do things, and then we figure out... Actually, no, we don't. That's not what this group is about. Please, let's not form a group around the idea of criticizing people's government ideas and things like that. That's not a good purpose to have, really. But no, really, let's figure out some things to do, and then let's do them. Let's do something. Act, take action, and do something. Decide you're gonna create something. All right. So my next video, I'm not gonna tear apart another constitution or something like that. I'm not. I promise. I'm not gonna do that. My next video, I'm going to highlight some wonderful things, some good constructive things in the Starbase community, because there are some people doing awesome things in the Starbase community, and there are some other people who've got some awesome plans for the future, for when the game is actually playable, and they're kind of experimenting with YOLOL and things like that. And I'm going to make a list of those people, and I'm going to highlight them all in a video. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to focus on the positives. But please, if you're running one of these super groups, if you're running one of these governments, God, please, just realize this is... Ball it up and throw it away. I beg of you. It's not going to do you any good. I have played this game before. And I promise you, if you get obnoxious with your governments, I'm going to get into the governing game, and I'm going to beat you at it. Because I am better at it than you are. So join my creative union, and let's figure out something we can actually do together instead. All right? End of video.